Hi, everyone. How are you today? So, today is my favorite day of the week because it is story time. So, for today's story time, we are reading a book called The Napping House by Audrey Wood and illustrated by Dawn Wood. The Napping House. So before we begin reading today, we're going to talk about some vocabulary. Let's get started. Okay, friends, here you can see the front cover. You can see the front cover of the book. On the front cover, we can find the the title. You can see it here. The Napping House. On the front cover, we can also see the author. Can you say that with me? Author. The author is the person who writes the story. You can also see the illustrator. Let's say that one together, but we'll clap it. Illustrator. Illustrator. The illustrator is the one who draws the pictures. So the author writes the story. Her name is Audrey Wood. And the illustrator, the one who draws the pictures, his name is Dawn Wood. So this week, we have 2 letters of the week. Do you know what letter this is? This is letter D. D. What's the sound of letter D? D, D, D. Like you're playing the drums. D, 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 D. Very good. The second letter of the week is this one here. Do you know what this letter is? It's letter G. G. And the sound of letter G, like you're playing a guitar, G, G, G. G, 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 G. Very good. We will also be learning a new sight word this week. The sight word this week is very simple because it is only 1 letter long. And the sight word is a, or you can pronounce it a. For example, I have a cat. Or I have a cat. Okay, looking at the title, The Napping House, can you find a sight word that we have learned in the title? Which sight word can you see? The. You can see sight word the. The napping house. The first word I want to talk about is this one here. Do you know what this is called? We can try to read it together. B-E-D. Stretchy snake. Bed. Bed. This is a bed. What do we do in the bed? We sleep in the bed. Do you have a bed at home? This word here, maybe in Bahasa Indonesia, you would call her nene or oma. In English, we would call them grandma, or as you can see here, granny. Granny. Granny is another word for grandma. Granny. All right, this is just like you, anak kecil. We call them a child. Child. Very good. Who knows what animal is this? D-O-G. Dog. Dog. It's a dog. What sound does a dog make? Woof, 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 woof. What animal is this? I think you might know how to read this one. Cat. 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 It's a cat. What sound does a cat make? Meow, 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 meow. Do you have a cat at home? Who knows what this little animal is called? We learned about this word when we read the story Hickory Dickory Dock. Mouse. 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 You can see the mouse here. Is a mouse big or small? A mouse is quite small. Smaller than a cat or a dog. This next word I want to talk about is a small bug. It's a very small bug. You can find this bug on cats or dogs or mice. We call it a flea. Flea. Dalam bahasa Indonesia, kutu. Kalau binatang itu bisa ada banyak kutu. There are lots of fleas on animals. If an animal has a flea, they are very, very itchy. Sangat gatal. Fleas can make you itchy. If you have a flea in your hair, you will scratch, scratch, scratch because it is itchy. Is a flea big or small? A flea is very, very, very small. Same like an ant. It is very small. What is this granny doing in the picture? Sleep. Sleep. When do we sleep? Do we sleep in the daytime? Not usually. We usually go to sleep at night. At nighttime. What do we sleep in? What is this called? A bed. Bed. We sleep in the bed. So maybe sometimes you sleep in the afternoon. Siapa yang suka tidur siang? Do you like sleeping in the afternoon? I do sometimes. If you sleep in the afternoon or you sleep only for a short while, tidurnya sebentar, we call it nap. 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 Sleeping in the afternoon or sleeping only for a short time is called nap. Same like you saw in the title. The napping house. You can see nap, napping. That means in the house they like to nap or they like to sleep. Okay, gigit dalam bahasa Inggrisnya apa? What is this bug doing to the arm? Bite. 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 The bug is biting the arm. Same like flea from before. Fleas like to bite your skin or bite the animals. Bite. All right, we are ready to read our story. While Miss Erin is reading, if you have your book here, you can read along with me. The words are a little different, but the pictures will be quite similar. Remember when I'm reading? If you're on the carpet, you're sitting crisscross. Applesauce. Our hands are in our laps or on the table. Our ears are listening and our eyes are on the book. Let's read the story. The Napping House by Audrey Wood, illustrated by John Wood. There is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping. You can see the house here, and it is raining. What is everyone doing in the house? They are sleeping. And in that house, there is a bed, a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. So you can see the bed. And on that bed, there is a granny, a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Who is sleeping in the bed? Granny is sleeping in the bed. And on that granny, there is a child, a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. So we have the bed. Who's on the bed? The granny is on the bed. Who is on the granny? The child. Bed, granny, child. Who do you think will sleep on top of the child? Let's find out. And on that child, there is a, what's this? Dog. And on that child, there is a dog, a dozing dog on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. So we have the bed, and then the granny, and then the child, and then the dog. Can you find it? Who do you think will sleep on top of the dog? Can you find any clues from the pictures? And on that dog, there is a meow, cat, a snoozing cat on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. So we have the bed, and then the granny, and then the child, and the dog, and then the cat. Who will sleep on top of the cat? And on that cat, there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, in a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. So we have the bed, and then the granny, then the child, the dog, The cat, you can see here, the mouse. What do you think will go on the mouse? What's going to go on the mouse? Do you remember kutu dalam bahasa Inggrisnya apa? Flea. Maybe the flea. And on that mouse, there is a flea. Can you see the flea? It's very, very, very small, all the way on the top. Can it be a wakeful flea? Kutunya nggak tidur. The flea is not sleeping. Can it be a wakeful flea on a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping? So we have the granny sleeping, child sleeping, dog sleeping, cat sleeping, mouse sleeping, and now the flea is awake on the mouse. What do you think will happen? A wakeful flea who bites the mouse. Gigit tikus. It bit the mouse. What does the mouse do when it gets bit? He jumps because he is scared. Something bit him. Bikin takut. He is scared. Who scares the cat? Now the cat is scared. Who will get scared next? Who claws the dog? Oh no, now the dog is awake. Who will wake up next? Who thumps the child? So now everyone is awake except for Granny. What will happen to Granny? Who bumps the granny? Now everyone is awake. Who breaks the bed? Aduh, kasurnya rusak. The bed is broken because they all fell off. In the napping house where no one now is sleeping. No one's sleeping anymore. They're all awake. The end. So friends, do you remember what this long word here says? Characters. Say it with me. I'm watching you. Characters. Characters. The characters are who is in the story. Can you say that with me? Who is in the story? Who are the animals or people in the story? Do you remember? The first one who went to sleep was Granny. Granny was a character. Do you remember who went to sleep on top of Granny? Child. The child was also a character. After the child, who was the next character? Woof, woof. Dog. The dog was a character. Who slept on top of the dog? The cat. The cat was another character. Two more characters. Who were they? Mouse. The mouse was on top of the cat. And the last character, what was sleeping on the mouse? Flea. The flea. So we have many characters in the story. There are 6 characters: Granny, child, dog, cat, mouse, and flea. So what about the setting? Setting. Remember, setting, we are doing where does the story take place? Where are they in the story? In the story, The Napping House, where are the characters? The characters are in the house. In the house or on the bed. Where are the characters? In the house. Okay, I hope you enjoyed our story time today. I sure did. Please get your book, your vocabulary cards, and your worksheet and come join me in the Google Classroom. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.